Degrees, my brothers, my professors here, I'm going to do justice to the correction anywhere I have lapses. It does very simple work for you. It gives you the definition of who you are on paper. You're a student. Your ID card is what qualifies you to stand as a student. Your admission letter. Those are all definitions on objects. And so therefore, your degree gives you a basic foundational knowledge, a basic foundational strength of logics, of power, objects. It doesn't go beyond that. It gives you specificity. If you're a doctor, that means I can relate to you if I have health challenges. If you're an engineer, depending on the aspect of engineering, I can relate to you on that aspect. But that is what it does. Like that young man said, it is a qualification you get from a university. And that's on paper. My brothers and sisters, what is skills? And that young man told us that something you do very well. Before I go into the issue of skills, I'm going to tell you my own interview. I had an interview with a man that never went to school in 1994. He interviewed me. He was a truck driver. And the question he said to me, he called me that, "How are you?" I said, "Fine, sir." His son was my friend. And he said, "What do you know how to do?" If I throw this question at you now, can anybody be brave enough to stand up and tell me what they know how to do? Anybody? I failed that day. Somebody must fail today. I failed the question. Let me just give you what happened that day. So somebody must also fail today. Because if anybody is not standing up, everybody here has failed. If somebody is going to tell me what they know how to do, I was the only one that failed that day because I was the only one that was questioned. But I'm questioning over 20, 30 persons here. And if they all, nobody is standing up, that means everybody has failed. Invariably, I passed that day because I was the only one. So somebody should just stand up and tell me what they know how to do. In a sentence. I don't need story, just a sentence. Anybody? Let me see your finger very well. It's okay. Please come forward. So that I want them to hear you this time around. I'm not going to interpret for you. Quickly, please.
Exactly. I know how to program.
You are a programmer. Thank you. This guy almost got it too. And I failed that day. When that man asked me that question, I told him I know how to play football. He said 1. I said I can play table tennis. He said 2. I said I play lawn tennis. He said 3. I said I play volleyball. He said 4. I said I'm also a student. He now shook his head when I said student. He said 5. He said, "Is that all?" I said yes. He said, "I'm going to ask you again. What do you know how to do?" Then I didn't say a word. He said, "You just said rubbish. You were even trying to breathe when you said you were a student. You were just trying to breathe. Because I know because you're a student, you live somewhere and you will start working one day. But young man, let me tell you today, what you know how to do is what you do that fits you. What put food on your table is what you know how to do. That you know how to play football, it doesn't give you food, you don't know how to play football. You're wasting your time. It's just preparation. That you can play golf, you're very good at it, you're not making money from golf to put food on people's table, you don't know how to play golf. You're just wasting your time. But I tell you, in your flashy attire, in your beautiful attire, and I say you are doing fashion parade and it's not giving you money, then you don't know nothing. Whatever you know how to do is what sustains your livelihood, will put food on your table. And that thing, ladies and gentlemen, is your skills. So I ask you a question. You get your degree, you start to work. What gives you the job? It's the skills. And these skills comes in different forms. It can come from what you have learned, but what you have learned is not going to be practical until your skills comes to bear. So what gives you the right to say that this is who I am is your skills. And therefore, I will tell you bluntly today that let anybody not come and tell you that I have a doctor who does this. And he's not getting source of livelihood from there. Or he's doing rudimental things. I'm an engineer. He's doing rudimental things. No, it's not acceptable. When you say skills, my brothers and sisters, it goes beyond just talking. Please, how many people have used China phone before? You know that phone that will make noise. If you want to off it, it will sound good. Have you ever seen any English written on that phone? You have to ask the person selling it that, please, if I press it, what does it say? What does this mean? Do you know why it is like that? They don't need education for that. Skills. Why do you see that sometimes the Chinese people need interpreters? The Russians sometimes they need interpreters. The Germans they need interpreters. They're not interested in what you can do. My friend, what can you do? In Germany, you go for work. You say I'm an engineer, a roadside engineer, civil engineer, building engineer. They give you something to practicalize, not the paper again. You know what I was telling you? That's your degree, it's on paper. They ask you to practicalize what you can do. And a young man who has never gone to the walls of a classroom, that has been an apprentice, that has been studying under people, that has experience, comes and does the job in 5 minutes, he's your boss. You and all your English. Because that is hands-on experience, hands-on practicality, hands-on job description, hands-on result orientation. It's not about degree. And I'm happy the VC said something just now, that there's an entrepreneurship program running in the UK here, where you can get some skills acquisition. Please, if your timetable is flexible, get one. I'm standing in front of you. I have a regret. Just one. When I was in ABU, we had a lot of time because of a lot of strikes. 2 years was added to our time in ABU. I never learned anything. That is a waste of time. I never learned any skills. Waste of time. Serious waste of 365 days times 2. And that means, if you think you can punish me by not paying me my salary, I bring out my skills and I get myself moving. And I ask you, how many of you have extra skills here? Apart from being students here. I'm saying 1, 2, 3 here. Anybody here 4? Doing something is 5, 6. These are people that can give relief to their parents without asking questions. Because they can make some extra money, except they want to be greedy. They give relief to their parents. Why? I want to tell you why skills is what you need far ahead of the degree. The degree is just to, if you have buy bread, you put butter in between, isn't it? That's what your degree does. It butters your bread. And your bread is your skills. But can you still eat that bread without butter? Can you eat the bread without butter? Can you take water and tea? So you agree with me that we can dump the degree and take the skills? That's what you're saying. We can dump the degree and take the skills. Can we do that? I'm not hearing you. Good. Because that is what actually brings the butter back into the bread. The skills. Reasons why skills are important. One, practicality. If you bring a carpenter here, this window has a problem. We bring an architect. The architect can tell us everything about the window standing here with his mouth, but rain is still entering here. And that's solve our problem. But you bring a man who has the skills, the moment he sees it, he tells you, okay, you know what's happened. At that place, we bend like this. When we just carry this block and we put this thing like this, then the rain will enter again. I prefer this language than the first one, because that one is solving my problem. That language is solving my problem. And that's what I don't want you guys here, please. I'm appealing to you. Don't ever think that your language opens the door. No. It's your humility, your sense of belonging, and your ability to apply those skills innate in you. That's what opens the door. Secondly, relevance. What is the relevance of degree? What is the relevance of skills? Degree takes a process. If you submit your paper for screening, what happens when you do registration? From one office, go to the next, go to the next, go to the next. But when you go for technical job application and your skills are needed, it is in one place. They are going to look at you, do it. When you do it, you pass, go inside. But when it is your degree, your paper will be leaving one place to this place, to this place, to this place. The only time they honor it, they want to know you said you have these skills, they come and display the skills. So skills gives you relevance. What about adaptability? Skills is what you have that you can use to adapt. Not degree. No. Your skills gives you adaptability in changing environments. What about creativity? This is very important because I'm closing my presentation now. Next 10 minutes I'll close it up. Creativity. I ask people the problem. Why do you think we don't have light in this country? Why do you think we don't have light? Why now? I'm talking to students. Why don't we have light? I don't want to hear corruption because that's not the answer. My opinion, I might be wrong, but I don't want to hear corruption. It's not the answer. Why do we have light? One, we don't have light because of our culture. I'm not saying you're a Yoruba man, you are a Libra man, you are a Ibibio man, you are a Hausa man. That's not the culture I'm talking about. This culture has to do with attitude. You know, when somebody is very proud or bossy, you say the person has an attitude, isn't it? Is that what we say? But what about when a whole country cannot get a light for itself? What is that country having? Is it not attitude? Why is that country having that attitude? Misplacement of skills. Concentration of degrees. What is even paving way for the corruption in the first place? It's not the degree. I tell you, most of the people you see here, they call experts, are technicians in their country. Roadside technicians in their country. Those are the ones they bring you here because they have white skin. And then when they pretend they don't know how to speak English, which they don't actually know how to do. And then they get an interpreter for them. And then you bring a brilliant young Nigerian here. And then, you know, I've seen this, that's why I'm telling you point blank. You will see the Indian man will ask you, hey, what do you think is the problem? As if he wants to test whether you know what you're doing. When you tell him, you say, carry on. You are indirectly solving your problem, but paying somebody else the glory. We do not have light here. Because we are misplaced where the skills are supposed to be. And there are so many reasons why that is happening. Attitude. And this attitude gives back to what? Character. I'm digressing a bit because the issue is what gives you relevance after your school degree that keeps you sustained in life. My brothers and sisters, you can have the best of skills. The best of skills needed anywhere in the world. But what will make your skills shine and sustain it is attitude and character. You can rise up on top. In Nigeria, I've seen a lot of people now go up, and come down. Why? Character. Character. When we talk about skills, creative skills. There's a man that told me he does programming. Where is he? Good. He said he does programming. That's creative skills. If you can do programming, it's creative skills. That means you are not outside your comfort domain. Secondly, business skills. The launching people are doing here today. Is it not about this topic I'm talking about business skills? Is it not? It's all business skills. Okay. And this business skills sometimes is inherent. And sometimes you learn it. I want to tell you something. You see those women by the roadside that do say, Wena, Awara, which is very common now. The Awara thing is very low because it's becoming a meme because of the economic situation. So they put Awara to carry for you. You slide in drink water, close your eyes, imagine and assume there's good money. If you look at all those women, you classify them all on small scale and big. Soft skills is your communication skills. Your ability to send an information and let the parties listening to that information get it correctly. On a final note, my brothers and sisters, your degree is a foundation for you to think critically, for you to know the difference between brown, black, white. When I mix green and this other color, I can get yellow. That is what your degree is meant to do for you. But even mixing that color, you need your skills to do them. So don't be carried by the sway of your degree. Get those skills running and put those things on the table. Thank you very much.